Get up, stand up. Stand up for your right. Get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight. Reggae music has been linked to chants of equal rights and justice and has earned its way into the hearts of many people from different walks of life. It has also had a huge impact on international pop culture, extending a message of solidarity and strength while giving many a pep in their step. I encourage you today to challenge barriers when pressing towards success. Hello, and welcome to another exciting edition of Jamaica Magazine. I'm your host, Lorraine Mendez. Thank goodness it's Friday. Today we look at ways the agriculture sector has opened doors for investors and a different kind of agribusiness, while learning how you can whip your body into shape this summer and all year round. So, don't you go anywhere. Soon come back.
Good day, I'm Theodore Henry, and this is your JIS News for Friday, July 8. Close to 90% of students who sat the 2022 Primary Exit Profile (PEP) examinations were placed in one of their 7 preferred schools. The news was revealed by Education Minister Favour Williams this morning. She says of the 35,292 students who sat the exam, 30,778 got their school of choice. The remaining 4,494 were placed in secondary schools in proximity to the schools they currently attend or the home address they submitted at registration. Placements were done using the scores of 2 of the 3 Grade 6 component tests, the ability test conducted in March and the curriculum-based test administered in April.
Congratulations to all our students. We will continue to work with you to help you continue working at your very best. I know parents as well. Let me congratulate you for all the efforts. This form of assessment has several benefits, such as more accurate claims can be made about the students. Students' achievement of the curriculum and their progress will be monitored more regularly. More opportunities will be provided for teachers to identify students' strengths and weaknesses and therefore plan lessons to meet the specific needs of students.
Results can be accessed at the parents.dpisonline.com portal or at the Ministry of Education's regional offices. Parents and guardians may call the ministry's helplines at 888-333-2283 or 888-724-8463 for assistance. Prime Minister Andrew Holness has welcomed the passage of the Road Traffic Regulations 2022, touting it as a critical tool in improving road safety, traffic management, and public order. The comprehensive document, containing 299 regulations, was passed at Tuesday's sitting of Parliament. It will now go before the Senate for perusal and passage.
This is a milestone achievement for the government and for Jamaica. It is a big step forward in ensuring not just safety on the roads, but public order in general.
While addressing Thursday's meeting of the National Road Safety Council, the Prime Minister highlighted several regulations aimed at reducing road fatalities and injuries on the nation's roads. Among them, the introduction of technology to remotely monitor and detect traffic offences, as well as the electronic ticketing of owners of vehicles involved in the traffic offences. Mr. Holness also welcomed the separation of the registration and licensing of motor vehicles on the island. Under the new regulation, a vehicle will be entered into the National Vehicle Registry whether it is licensed or not. The move will allow the Island Traffic Authority to keep more comprehensive records of vehicles. The regulation also gives the authority power to request public and commercial vehicle owners to bring in their vehicles for fitness and certification at any time.
There are new provisions for tire safety and visibility, as well as environmental standards for noise and emission from vehicles. This is very important, not only as we seek to comply with environmental standards and cut emissions in keeping with our commitments for climate change. But we don't generally view noise as an environmental disturbance, but it is.
In the meantime, all paid driving instructors will soon be required to become certified. It will also be mandatory for all driving schools to become licensed. Those are two of a raft of amendments to the Road Traffic Amendment Act, which was tabled in the House of Representatives on Tuesday. The amendments are to facilitate the accurate implementation of the road traffic regulations. Transport Minister Audley Shaw, who piloted the bill, says the proper rollout of the initiative will be monitored by the Ireland Traffic Authority, ITA, which will keep a registry.
Exceptions are made for certain circumstances under which certification is not required. Specifically, the requirement for a driving instructor certificate does not apply to a family member or friend teaching an individual to drive free of charge.
Minister Shaw also reminded the House that anyone who wishes to be certified as a driving instructor must be at least 24 years of age, have no less than 24 months licensed driving experience, and have completed a driving instructor training program. Provisions have also been included for demerit points on a driver's license to expire after 15 months if fewer than 10 points are earned during the period. The minister says after a period of suspension, the points that led to the suspension will be expunged. Persons accessing services at the Criminal Records Office in Kingston and its 3 sub-offices in Clarendon, St. Mary and St. James should see an improvement in the processing and delivery of police certificates by the end of July. This due to several measures being put in place, such as the upgrading of the automated palm and fingerprint ID system to a multi-biometric ID system.
This upgraded system will increase the storage capacity and reduce the processing time taken to generate police certificates. In addition to this system upgrade, we are also in the testing phase for an online application and appointment system, which has been successful so far.
Commissioner of Police Major General Anthony Anderson was speaking at the Jamaica Constabulary Force's monthly press conference recently. Commissioner Anderson says plans are also being pursued for the collection of police certificates. The police commissioner called for the public's patience as the Criminal Records Office implements the changes and meets the high demand for its services. Jamaica's food security initiatives are set to be bolstered with the island's participation in the Food and Agriculture Organization, FAO's Food Systems Profile. The island is one of 50 countries that was included in the assessment dubbed Catalyzing the Sustainable Inclusive Transformation of Food Systems. The assessment was led by the FAO in partnership with the European Union and the French Agricultural Research Centre for Development. As he received the report Tuesday, Agriculture and Fisheries Minister Pernell Charles Jr. said the food system profile will help to build Jamaica's capacity in tackling climate change, food loss, and waste.
It is important for the country to know that our message is that these challenges are not insurmountable.
It is a gateway for national dialogue on food systems based in evidence, insight, and areas for intervention that have been researched by local and international experts, Minister.
And finally, Youth Minister Favour Williams is reiterating her call for parents and guardians not to leave their children home alone. The minister made the appeal Sunday at an emotional send-off for preschoolers Kayla and Abigail Tomlinson, who perished in a fire at their Hayesfield Clarendon home on March 24 earlier this year. 4-year-old Kayla and 3-year-old Abigail were home alone when the fire started. Minister Williams urged parents to always ensure that their children are adequately supervised by an adult to avoid unexpected tragedies.
It's about taking caution. And so we want to implore you to pray with your children. Pray in the morning. Pray in the night. It's the last thing you do.
As she extended sympathy on behalf of the ministry, Minister Williams called on community members to support the grieving parents and extended family. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Theodore Henry. Thanks for watching.
The Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries, through the Agri-Investment Corporation, is making strides to broaden the avenue for agri-investment. After all, food security is its top priority. Let's listen in to the conversations among stakeholders.
If I can get 500 bags of turmeric, how do I get it to America?
Jamaica's agriculture sector is gearing up to dig deeper roots through the many opportunities coming out of its first hybrid agribusiness investment forum. The market is open as the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries, through the Agri-Investment Corporation, AIC, seeks to widen the net of large-scale investments in agriculture. In a race to preserve Jamaica's food security, the sector is being rebranded as more than just a tool for survival. The investment forum featured over 500 participants joining virtually as stakeholders from government, finance, export, and regulations shared expertise on the business process of agriculture.
Agri-Invest will continue to play our part by facilitating the business assets through matching one-on-one dialogue, collating, reviewing, and disseminating a set of bankable projects that would interest investors, promoting region-wide network for expanding production and distribution, matching agribusiness entrepreneurs wishing to network with potential investors to collaborate on new opportunities in the agri-sector.
Over the past 2 years, the AIC has provided strong support to farmers and investors by writing 300 business plans, putting 2,000 acres of land into production, and connecting producers with exporters by organizing export functions. Now, the AIC is tackling some of the challenges in the agriculture sector by inviting stakeholders to benefit from its myriad of services.
The AIC is here to facilitate investments on a large scale in our country.
One avenue for AIC investment support is through the agri-parks. What is this and how do I get involved, you may ask? An agri-park is a parcel of land equipped with the right facilities and services to ensure agricultural production can thrive at all levels of the value chain. Investors are invited to make applications to the AIC for lands in the agri-parks, where they are assessed based on the required conditions and then placed.
We want to dive into the reality of the several hundreds of acres that our rural women network wants us to tap into, so that we can say to Jamaica that there's no longer idle land. But if you see land that is not cultivated, it's because we choose for it to not be cultivated. We have 810 acres that have been allocated to the development of the Mango Agri Park in Tollgate, Clarendon, on the former sugarcane lands. We are managing the process, and we have attracted over 50 investors and placed already 14 of the 50. We have also spent $120 million developing the property, supporting irrigation, roads, and other infrastructure.
The vibrancy in Jamaica's agriculture sector is springing up with urgency as the government is cultivating strategic investments. 8 agri-parks and 9 agricultural production zones is just the start. In the last 2 years, the AIC has increased the acreage of lands in production from 2,786 to 5,300 acres, with more than 500 farmers engaged. To reap the immense benefits from the business of farming, more work is being done to get the right products across the globe.
We have to play to the food trends in the market. Organic, sustainable superfoods. Look how many of those superfoods we produce in Jamaica. It's extraordinary. Yam and sweet potato are much better for you than Irish potato. What are we doing about positioning our products?
Adding to this is the regulation and certification of produce for export, which comes with several benefits for the successful agripreneur.
we have several bilateral agreements from the regulatory standpoint that already exist, which means we have ready markets for you based on these agreements. And so quite often you don't really need to do much, just have your facilities ready as well as the produce.
It's the composite of putting the business into farming and budding more interest in the sector among the youth.
But not just farming where you have straw hat and boots. Nothing wrong with that. But we want to encourage them to see it as you now being innovators, creators, bringing the technology, bringing the drone technology, bringing all of the computerization and use of digital and software. And let our youngsters from early childhood, 3-year-old, 4-year-old must be excited about it. Let's change the way we introduce agriculture to them.
Farming is the future of Jamaica. According to the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations, the FAO, world food production must increase to 70% by 2050 to feed the global population.
And that is why we have scored investment of $120 million on our Holland agroeconomic zone, where a factory is being constructed right now to expand agro-processing there.
What a way you're full of our roots and culture. That was in Jamaica 60. Jamaica 60? What a piece of news, Miss Matty. I feel like my heart going bust up.
Just in, the island of Jamaica is on the verge of celebrating its 60th year of independence.
A whole way of celebrating it. They say the people them in them come here, you know. But you see, when our people decide, say the other people them free paper, burn up, them say if it's war, start it, whatever. We all collect medal pants of it, you know.
Medal.
Amount of tongue we give them, you know.
These celebrations are slated to begin on January 1st, 2022. Organized by the Ministry of Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sport. We have more in this report.
I am on site and planning activities are ablaze. Persons are advised to download the Reggae Jamaica app to know what it pre. Activities for the Jamaica 60 celebration.
I download the app to get the updates then.
Are you struggling to eat healthy? What about your New Year's resolution to get in shape? How's that going? It's never too late to get back on track. Let's look at how you can stay fit now and all year round. Remember, if it doesn't challenge you, it doesn't change you.
You want this lean, muscular physique and well-toned body, framed for the beach, carnival parade, or just your regular dressed down or formal attire. You want to cut the fat and develop that noticeable defined muscle and shape, but not significant muscle size. There's nothing wrong with any of that, as long as you remember the most important thing is not a summer or designer body, but rather a healthy body. By doing efficient exercises and controlling your weight, you can expect to safely lose between 1 and 2 pounds a week on your journey to a more fit body. But doctors recommend that you should not lose more than 1 to 2 pounds per week. For many people, even this rate may be too aggressive in terms of dietary and exercise modifications.
That body is not just going to come overnight. It's not going to come within 2 weeks or a month, depending. It all depends on the type of activity you do, how you do it.
Within 2 months, if you stick to your exercise program and if it's done properly, you will see and feel results. Before starting any structured exercise program, however, persons should first consult with their doctor.
The reason why we need a medical approval from our doctor is that a lot of us have pre-existing health conditions and some of us are not as fit as we think. For example, in Jamaica, 4 in 10 is hypertensive and they don't know it. And it's the same with diabetes, 4 in 10 and don't know it. And our stats tell us 7 out of 10 Jamaicans die from a chronic disease. We define physical activity by intensity level and the frequency in which we do it. Frequency meaning how often we do it per week. For example, 2 times per week or 5 days per week. The intensity is the energy in which we use to perform the activity, meaning how hard you work out. There's 3 levels of intensity: low, moderate, and vigorous.
If you want to lose weight, the Ministry of Health recommends 60 minutes of moderate to vigorous exercise 5 days per week. To lose and maintain weight, 90 minutes of moderate to vigorous exercise 5 days per week is recommended. There are 2 main categories of exercise, namely aerobic and anaerobic exercise.
What this is saying that the body needs oxygen to break down fat that is stored in the body. All the calories stored in the body as fat need oxygen to break it down, that is in the tissue. So if you want to lose weight, you must do the aerobic activity to burn that fat that we use as energy when we're doing the activity. So the type of activities are like swimming, running, dancing. It is normally done for a long period of time.
When you decide to lose weight, you want results. Results keep you motivated and on track. Cardiovascular exercises are part of the aerobic category, and they help you trim down by burning extra calories. While this helps shed excess fat and strengthens your cardiorespiratory system, it won't build the tone in your muscles that you're after.
Now, when we talk about anaerobic activity, it is activity that does not need oxygen. It's quick, it's fast, it's snap. So most of the time, that activity will help to tone the muscles that we're looking for. But you cannot tone unless, we lose that fat. So you need to do the aerobic activity, then you do the anaerobic activity, which is like the weightlifting, the squats, the push-ups, the jumping, so that now you lose with aerobic and then you tone with anaerobic.
Calories are the name of the game when you're trying to lose weight. Eat fewer calories than you burn and the scale will respond.
Generally, we work with a 2,000 to 2,500 caloric intake per day for the general population. But for each person, their caloric requirements is different because we calculate it based on your specific age, your height, weight, gender, and how physically active you are. Females generally eat less because they carry less muscle mass than men, and so they weigh less. The range is different. For someone who is very slim and short, then maybe 1,800 would be a safe amount to save for that person. But for men, 2,100 would be the lower end of the spectrum.
You may create a caloric deficit, which will cause you to lose weight, but it's best to work with a balanced diet and exercise.
A caloric deficit is when you consume less calories than what you're using for the day. So usually persons try to cut their caloric intake significantly to lose a lot of weight at once, but consuming less than, say, 1,200 calories per day can cause you to have nutritional deficiencies. You can lose muscle and bone, and your body will also go into starvation mode so that you'll stop losing weight altogether.
That's a no-no. The best way to slim down and tone up is to combine balanced diet and exercise. And avoid fad diets such as low-carb, high-protein, or anything that deviates from a balanced diet.
In Jamaica, we have food-based dietary guidelines that are specific to the Jamaican population, but it's based on the 6 food groups in the Caribbean. So we have food from animals, staples, legumes and nuts, fruits, vegetables, and fats and oils.
Losing weight at a rate faster than 1 to 2 pounds per week and regularly skipping meals can leave you feeling extraordinarily hungry so that you binge at the next opportunity, causing weight regain. Plan for 3 balanced meals per day, in addition to 1 or 2 healthy snacks.
You want to include foods from all of your food groups. So say, for example, you're planning for lunch, you want to include either food from animals or a plant-based protein like beans or nuts. You have your staple foods like rice, bread, or pasta, your fruits and vegetables that you can include in a salad, and you can put your fats and oils, for example, like in pear or avocado. Healthy snacks are low in fat, low in salt, and low in sugar. So you can have a fruit or vegetables, for example, carrot sticks, or you can use dried fruits and nuts. As a general guide, 1 serving of food from animals is the palm of your hand, a cup of rice is like your fist, and fats and oils is your thumb. That's 1 serving.
Losing fat and retaining or building muscle creates a strong, toned appearance. Do strength training activities that focus on all the major muscles and the entire body, upper, mid, and lower body. Plank is a good full body workout which helps to build strength in your core, upper, and lower body. Those that focus on the lower body include lunges, using the stairs, leg press, and squat exercises that effectively work most of the major muscle groups of the butt, hips, and thighs. Some examples of exercises to strengthen the mid-body abdominal muscles include the side twist, traditional crunch, bicycle crunch, and exercise ball. You can also try other activities to sculpt your legs, tone your thighs and bottom muscles, waist, and abs.
Ensure that you hydrate properly. It is good to drink water before, during, and after your activity so you don't get dehydrated. Don't wait until you're thirsty, just take your water with you and sip, little sip as you go along. So make sure you work out at an intensity level that suits you because every one of us are at a different fitness level.
Getting and staying fit is a lifestyle change, so you have to make exercise a part of your daily routine and eat a balanced diet daily for a happier, healthier you.
Jamaica is an island of virtue. Let's not forget the pain and agony our forefathers went through for us to reap the benefits of wealth and freedom. The pain was for a reason. The journey was for the betterment of a nation. Let us shake the things that mar our island paradise and continue to run the race and run it well. The next generation awaits the baton of success, virtue, and truth. How? By holding each other accountable so we can limit and eventually stop the spread of crime and violence. Let's join hands across Jamaica for righteousness and make Jamaica the land of love. Our 60th anniversary should remind us of the intangible wealth that was gifted to us. One love.
The wait is over. After a 2-year hiatus, the Denbigh Agricultural, Industrial and Food Show is back. The 68th staging is set to begin on July 23 at the Denbigh Showground in Maypen, Clarendon, under the theme, Grow Smart, Eat Smart.
We want energy. We want excitement. We want us to be aggressively moving.
This year's show returns with Villages for Youth in Agriculture, Children, Health and Wellness Village, along with livestock and agricultural and horticultural displays and much more. Festivities commence on Saturday, July 23 with a Farmers Run Walk in Clarendon. The National Farm Queen coronation and youth activities are set for Saturday, July 30. Sunday, July 31 begins a High Pro Denbigh Gospel Extravaganza for patrons. For the finale on Monday, August 1, the event will culminate with a showcase of Jamaica's culture.
Denbigh 68 will be a great event. It will be entertaining. It will be exciting.
Gates open from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. daily. Admission $1,200 for adults and $600 for children. Tickets will be available at the gate.
We've come to the end of our program. Get a recap of all you saw here and more on our YouTube channel. Also, feel free to visit our Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter pages for news you can use. From all of us here at the JIS, I'm Lorraine Mendez. Bye for now.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.